Hey there, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Morgan County Movers and Shakers. I'm your host, Jan Sullivan, and today we have two incredible guests in the house. Before we dive in, let me introduce you to Jim Malanowski, and Stan Ashley.
That's easy.
They are board members of the Wheelhouse in Madison, which meets here at Farmview Market on
The third Thursday
the third Thursday
every
of the
month
month.
at 7 a.m.
7 a.m., which is like way too early for me, but
Uh-huh.
I can't wait to delve into their insights and experiences. And if you're like me, then you will want to get to know the people who live and work in Morgan County as well. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Welcome to the show, Stan and Jim. We're so glad that you're here. Tell us a little bit about the Wheelhouse and what it does.
Well, the idea behind the wheelhouse is that uh, people have ideas of new businesses, but they don't know how to take it from the idea stage to a complete implementation and marketing of whatever their idea is. And so our goal is to have an entity that will provide them not only space that they can work in, but we will also provide them with teachers, mentors that can teach them all the things they don't know that they need to know in order to be successful.
Yes.
And the ministry side of this, from my perspective, is that Madison has so much going for it. But the one thing it does not have, to the best of my knowledge, is a job draw for young people to get them to either move here or if they grew up here to come back here after college.
Mm.
So if we can create new businesses and they can organically grow in the community, they'll create new jobs and can attract young people to stay in Madison or move to Madison. So it's an idea of bringing families back together again.
Oh, nice. Because that's what we're all about is bringing this community together and celebrating each other.
So that's a short overview.
Mm-hmm. What would you say that members or people that come love most about the Wheelhouse?
Well, it's been fascinating to us. We started, I guess, 4 months ago with an idea called Coffee and Conversation, which is held here at Farmview at 7 a.m. on the third Thursday of every month. And the idea was any entrepreneur and any mentor and our board members as they can would come, and we're here to learn what new business ideas are out there and how we can go about helping these people and create a path for them to go from their coffee and conversation here to next steps to having a productive business that's up and operating. We've been kind of blown away by the number of entrepreneurs. I would guess we've got somewhere between 15 and 20 who have appeared.
Yeah.
And we've got a list of 35 to 40 men and women who said, I want to be a mentor.
Nice.
I want to come alongside these people and help them be successful. So that's Madison is replete with retired men and women who would love to have an opportunity to help others.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
We had our first group really of mentors that appeared last week in my mind. I described it as a spiritual moment
Yeah.
because the energy was incredible. These people dragged themselves out of bed to get here at 7 o'clock in the morning so that they could help other people uh, with no real financial reward or anything. They're just doing it out of the goodness of their heart. So it was pretty incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, what do most people not know about the Wheelhouse?
Who we are.
Okay. Now's
I,
your chance.
that's one of those things where I think we are a startup ourselves in a sense, in that we've been at this for what, Stan, 2.5 years now?
Yes.
Okay, so
And
not that long.
yeah, and at the same time, you say the wheelhouse, people go, the what?
Mm-hmm.
We still are working on name recognition and branding and all of those things that go along with
The
the stand.
Wheelhouse. The
The
Wheelhouse.
wheelhouse.
Well, get a picture of this. So you're on the Mississippi River and you're in a paddle boat, big steam driven paddle boat, and you're in the wheelhouse. The wheelhouse is where the wheel is. It's
Mm-hmm.
where you can see where you're going. So you can see where the snags and the rapids are you have to avoid. You can go right, you can go left, you can go faster, you can go slower, you can back up. And you're in charge of protecting all the people on your ship. So that's the analogy of our name, the wheelhouse. That's what our responsibility is, to protect all the entrepreneurs and mentors that are part of our wheelhouse endeavor, and to teach them how to get to where their vision is.
Nice. I like that. That's great. So, what was it that made you all start this? Besides, I know that you said that you looked at trying to figure out a way to get businesses here and to come back, but why you all? Why this?
How
Why
about
here?
that's a God thing?
It's a God thing? God told you to do it?
That's right.
I learned early on,
Seriously,
if God tells you to do something, you say yes.
all of us are highly spiritual people. And for example, Carrie Fisher Reed, who is a local preacher, uh, Sherry Terrell, whose brother is a minister in town. Uh, yeah, we have folks that are just good folks who are called to
Hmm.
this. And as like you said before, like a ministry that we've all been drawn to it.
Well, and let me just add, Jim, the whole idea is how can we serve others? And that's what Wheelhouse is all about, is serving others, whether it's an entrepreneur or it's a mentor. Mentors need service too, because they're looking to find avenues to utilize their knowledge base. The entrepreneurs don't know what they don't know. And the irony of where we are with the wheelhouse is we're supposed to be teaching these entrepreneurs, as I said earlier, the things that they don't know they need to know. We're trying to learn the things that we don't know that we
Hmm.
need to know in order to run the wheelhouse.
Hmm.
So we're as Jim just said, we're a startup also.
Yeah.
So we're running along side by side, and it's growing so much faster. This is a huge thing.
Hmm.
We've got our arms raised.
Yeah. So, what was it like when you first started?
Well, uh, there's a missing person in our group right now. Is a young lady named Annie Hunt Burris. Dr. Burris and I, without to make a long story short, came up with the idea of an incubator. And so we started going around the community talking about the idea to see if it would get any traction. And people kept saying, "Well, you need to talk to Brooks Pennington because he's already doing it in his own right with people who would come to him because he started a bunch of businesses." So we met with Brooks and we decided that together we could do something better and bigger. And so we joined forces. We've now got a board of directors of 9, and I'm humbled to be a member of that because it's a pretty powerful board. And you know how when you're trying to follow the path that the Lord laid out for you, you don't know the next door it's going to open.
Yeah.
You just keep going along and see what's going to happen next.
Yeah. Just hang on.
That's right.
Sails up and just hang on. Let that
Yeah,
wind blow.
that's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, these guys started with a feasibility study,
Okay.
and people rose up in the community and provided the funding for a feasibility study that spoke to the issue that Stan talked about before about trying to attract and keep young people here in this town.
Hmm.
I retired as the high school principal back in 2016, and that was one of my ahas was we're losing some of our
Yes.
best and brightest to other places. They go
Hmm.
off, they go to college or wherever, go to training school, and they end up someplace else. Why not keep them here?
Hmm.
So that's been part of our thesis, I guess, if you want to call it that, is that we can do that. We can create some opportunities for these folks, keep them here.
Sounds good. So, what would you say so far? I know you've only been at it for about 2.5 years, but what would you say so far as the most memorable experience that you had doing this? What is one thing that just
For me, it
popped
was
out?
last Thursday. You know, it's like everything's coming together, and we're still in the process of getting funding and stuff of that sort. So if anybody's out there that is real eager to support us financially, we would love to have that support. But we've had good response from Senator Warnock and his office. We've had good support from the USDA. But that financing takes a long time to work its way through the system. So,
I think my answer to your question is the thing that's so striking to me is the enthusiasm that we have experienced, not only in the community, but with these entrepreneurs that have come to our coffee and conversation.
Hmm.
And they are not only excited about their idea, but they're excited about here's a group that can help me.
Yes. Yes.
And they've got a lot of enthusiasm to learn. That's been uh, very rewarding to me.
Good. So, what has surprised you the most?
I think the enthusiasm behind it, that people are coming out of the woodwork. And I think people are talking to different people and it's starting to materialize. It's we're developing what I call mode. We got mode, momentum,
Okay.
that is starting to show itself. And that's why last Thursday was such a big deal. We've met, what, 3 months now?
I think
4 months?
four.
Yeah, 4 months
That was the
now.
fourth.
And each time we have new people who come, we have returnees, some folks who come back, and
Hmm.
we've developed relationships. I think we've been, what's the name? The Sinclair is like our
That's your baby.
pit stop.
Oh, your
Yeah.
piss. It's like a gas station.
But we meet at the Sinclair oftentimes and have conversations over coffee with these same folks that are coming out on Thursday night. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you both have your own mentees? And-
We're assigned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to talk about them at all?
Uh,
Are they
I,
not there yet?
I feel I don't want to violate uh, our entrepreneurs with their ideas.
Okay.
So to answer your question, no, I don't want to talk about
Okay.
it. If they want to talk about
Are
it,
they good
Yeah.
ideas?
well, we have some spectacular
They're,
ideas.
Uh-huh.
that's what I want to hear.
We have some spectacular ideas, and it's the range of ideas is somewhat amazing.
Baffling. Yeah. I swear to you, it's
Yeah,
like,
it is.
oh, seriously. You want to do what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
So, what do you like most about being a leader or a mentor?
I feel like, Jan, it's something that I have been called to do,
Hmm.
and I try to be very prayerful about doing what I'm supposed to do and the path I'm supposed to walk. And this feels like it's the path I'm supposed to be on. So, as I said earlier, I'm waiting to see the next door that opens.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's what I'm supposed to be doing,
Okay.
in addition to mowing grass and all
Yeah.
that.
yes, horses.
Uh,
I, Stan and I are pretty much the same age. And I know when people start talking about old folks or the elderly or something like that, oftentimes they're talking about me. It's like, wait a minute here. You
No,
know?
they're not. They're talking about somebody.
Yeah,
We don't use
that old guy over there.
still 18 in my head.
we don't use the old word.
No. But just the idea that I'm not used up yet,
Hmm.
and I don't want to be used up. I
Of course
want
not.
to just keep running
You're ripe with wisdom now.
through the finish line. That's a
Yeah.
big amen. And I guess that's one of the biggest issues in the economy right now is a lot of those folks, those older folks, How about that? Does that work?
Older.
Those older folks like us,
How about experience?
Mature.
experience, there you go,
Mature.
have not.
No, I don't, I wouldn't say I'm mature. I'm still a child, but I'm experienced.
They are not returning to the workforce. And typically what they would do is they would retire and come back in, maybe do something
For
else.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but apparently they're not. They're traveling or doing all those things they waited to do.
So fun stuff.
We're the ones that are out there beating the bushes trying to do something else, something good. So, yeah.
Well, do you have any advice to give aspiring leaders?
It's sort of my definition of success, which is not new to me. I stole it from somebody else. And
Don't reinvent the wheel.
that is find a need and fill it.
Go back.
And that's what successful entrepreneurs are doing,
Mhm.
is they've discovered a need that's not being met and they're trying to fill it.
Mhm.
And if we can focus on the needs that aren't being met and figure out a way to fill them, it'll make everybody better.
I'm originally from Ohio. I came down here 33 years ago, 32 years ago. Went back to Ohio and said to my wife, I know where I want to spend the rest of my life. And
Wow.
the following year, we moved here. But we had a company of our own that wasn't our own. It was the southeastern branch of an international professional development company that we ran right here out of Madison, Georgia. And first of all, people don't know that I've done that.
Hmm.
They think I'm a principal or a teacher or whatever. But a businessman myself. But then the idea that we could do that kind of thing from here prior to all the technology and everything that we
Mhm.
have today
Mhm.
and post-COVID ability to do things that we were never able to do. We did those things. And that was like in '89 when we started those things, pre internet and all that.
Mhm.
Well, maybe. But
Yeah.
yeah. But just the idea that this is the place. When we chose this place, the company that hired us said, "Why are you going there?" And it was like they said, "Why wouldn't you go to Atlanta or something, someplace like that?" And we said, "Think about it. We can get to the airport in 55 minutes, basically. Back then it was 55. We can get to Macon. We can get to Augusta. We can get to Athens. I
Mhm.
mean,
It's
pretty
perfect.
much, yeah. This is the place."
Mhm.
And as Sam was saying before, that the whole idea of the human resources that we have here, the people who are willing to give of themselves,
Mhm.
uh, different kind of place.
Mhm.
Uh,
We're, the enterprise that we're creating here is rural focused to pick up on where Jim was going. And so we had a feasibility study, a rather extensive feasibility study done. And the bottom line was that rural is the up and coming thing. People are focused on rural. And if you're going to do a business incubator, the center of the bullseye is Madison, Georgia. And our thought was we can get it going here and get it up and running and prove it in quantity, and then we can cookie cut it in other communities.
Mm.
When the Department of Agriculture came to meet with us and to learn about what we were doing, their enthusiasm was huge. They said, "You all are doing such a great job. We want to help you take it nationwide."
Wow.
So that's a bit bigger dream. We got to get
Just
get our
get
act
going.
together here first before we can think about expanding into Georgia or across the country. But that's somebody else's perspective on the power of what we've got our hands on.
Mhm.
So that's informative.
You got to get that first cruise finished first on
That's
that
right.
steamboat.
That's right. That's right.
Well, I guess I don't have to ask you what the future holds for your organization because it sounds like it's going to be huge. So, let's talk about Morgan County and Madison, just Morgan County in general. What are your favorite things to do in this area just to celebrate where you're at?
I used to play golf
There's a lot of golf
Until
around here.
COVID hit.
Yeah.
It's just like the whole world stopped, and so did I in that process. I enjoy the restaurants. The nightlife downtown is incredible these days. It's really developed. But the people, you know, spending time with friends and just enjoying the people who are here.
Mhm.
We're all attracted to this place. I
Oh,
don't get that.
yes,
Like
sir.
there's a God magnet.
There's something here. There's something in
I
Madison.
mean it.
Well, it's Madison has a very eclectic population,
Mm.
some of whom were born here, some came from all over the world.
I'm from Kentucky.
But they heard about Madison enough to come see it,
Mm-hmm.
and then they decided they wanted to stay here. And what my bride and I have been, we spent 5 years looking for a farm out here,
Mm.
and we're guided by where the good Lord wanted us to be, and we wanted to be out here because we knew Madison was a really interesting town. The land is beautiful. It's close to the University of Georgia, so you can be close to young people. You got good health services. You got a lot of things going for it, but the thing that amazed my bride and me so much was the quality of people.
Mm-hmm.
When we moved out here, they embraced us, and we had more friends in Madison than we ever had in Atlanta. And I lived in Atlanta for half of a century, so
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty stellar
Mm-hmm.
place to be.
It is. It's beautiful. I love it.
So,
Yeah. So, why do you think or do you think it's important for people to shop local? And if so, why?
well, I
Would you
think it's
say?
important for the local to provide what's needed by the citizens.
Okay.
So if they provide it, then they'll buy it
Buy
locally.
it?
Let me give a plug for a local business that we're sitting in.
Yes.
You know, who would have thought that Farmview would have taken off the way it has?
Mm-hmm.
And you start talking local produce, and now it's getting a reputation in the region, and people come here for meals and
Mm-hmm. I used to
meetings and
work
stuff.
here.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Okay. But
Well,
yeah,
and you know Keith Kelly, and you know
Mm-hmm.
what an entrepreneur he is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, he's got several businesses.
Mm.
Trying to get him to sit down with me, but he wants his daughter to do it, so I don't know.
Mm. Mm.
So,
yeah, but if his daughter is sitting down with you,
yeah,
you got him.
yeah, that's true. Well, I want to thank both of you for sitting down with me today because it is important for people to know the things that are going on in our area. And this is an extraordinary opportunity for a lot of people that have ideas. I know when I started my first business, didn't have a clue what all was involved in it. And I ended up going to a small business association, kind of an organization similar to this one in Kentucky that took me through a program, and I learned a lot that way. And they actually gave me a grant to get my business up and started. So,
Mhm.
and because of that, I've been able to not only I have my own bakery, I have a cottage bakery here, but I'm also a real estate agent. So I know how to run a business now because of people like you all.
Uh,
So, any last words for our viewers out there?
a wheelhouse.
The wheelhouse, the
Wheel.
wheelhouse, the wheelhouse.
Come see us.
Yeah, seriously.
Yes.
And send the people that you love.
Yes.
We'll try to help them however we can.
Okay. Well, folks, that wraps up another fantastic episode of Morgan County Movers and Shakers. If you enjoyed our conversation today, I'd be thrilled if you'd show some love by hitting the like button. But if you didn't, you can hit the dislike button. That's okay. We just want to hear from you. And you can even leave some comments if you'd like. Remember that if you know someone who should see this interview and discover the hidden gems and local leaders in our beloved Morgan County, please hit the share button. Together we can give our community the exposure it deserves. Now, to never miss another exciting episode filled with intriguing local business leaders and mentors like today's guest, make sure you subscribe to the show and click that bell icon notification because you want to stay in the loop and get to know the heartbeat of Morgan County, don't you? Plus, your engagement plays a vital role in supporting local businesses, professionals, and leaders in our community. By interacting with this content, you're telling the platforms to share it with more people and contributing to the growth of Morgan County. Thank you in advance for your valuable support. And speaking of supporting local professionals, if you're considering buying, selling, or investing in real estate in Morgan County, I'm your friendly local real estate agent. I'm a member of eXp Realty and have been in real estate for 2 years now. And I am working on gaining a deep, deep, deep knowledge base of our area. And I can tell you all about Morgan County. I can hook you up with the people that you need to know. So I can guide you to the perfect home and help you negotiate great deals. Reach out to me via email, phone, or social media. My contact will be in the description as well as the contact to reach the Wheelhouse. Thank you again for watching. Stan and Jim, thank you so much for your input, and I can't wait to see what God does with the Wheelhouse. I think it's going to be rather spectacular, and you may see me there one morning.
That would be
Will,
terrific.
will you have in this process, Jan, ability to send them our website?
Yes,
Because our
absolutely.
website is filled with information.
Yes, absolutely. They'll have tags to you. It'll connect to your website and you can promote it as much as you want to. And everybody out there can find out more about you online. Thank you all again. We'll see you next time. Bye.